The company went bankrupt. Don't look anymore. We've gone bankrupt. Hurry up and leave. Yeah, our car company went bankrupt. It happened today. Go ahead and leave. A female live streamer was selling cars when her colleague suddenly informed her that the company, Jiyue Auto, had gone bankrupt. This unexpected news left her in shock, and she immediately broke down in tears. Give me my money back. Jiyue owes me money. Why did everything go bankrupt? I clocked in this morning and everything was fine, and then this afternoon the company's gone. We still owe the bank 130,000 yuan in loans, and now they can't even pay our wages. How am I supposed to go home for the new year? I can't even afford the train ticket back.
This car is really frustrating. If I could drive it away, I would.
Give me my money back. Jiyue owes money. On December 11th this year, a video was shared online showing Jiyue Auto's sudden bankruptcy, with the company showroom closed.
The mall security has surrounded Jiyue. It's completely over now. Yes, it's over for our company. First of all, the performance bonuses from November and this month's base salary won't be paid. We might get some compensation.
But under what conditions?
We'll all leave together on the 16th. They said we would, but only if they can find the money, solve the financial problems.
If there's no money, then no compensation. If there is money, we'll get it. But right now, the key issue is that there's no money.
Basically, the investment has been pulled out.
Now there's nothing. What do you mean there's money? There isn't. I worked so hard last month, and now they're telling me they won't pay my salary.
Wow. My live stream is about to break 200 viewers.
I'm sad, almost in tears.
We had such good performance last month. What are we going to do if people want to buy cars?
Stop looking, stop looking. We're bankrupt. One moment, everything seemed fine. The car was delivered in the morning, and the companies went bankrupt in the afternoon. In the live stream, the host was still trying to sell cars, and just moments later, received the news that the company had shut down. The hosts were devastated. Not only had they worked an entire month for nothing, but they also didn't have Social Security, and Jiyue Auto was also reported to have owed payments to suppliers. On top of that, Chinese car manufacturer Geely had been manufacturing for Jiyue for a long time, and Jiyue hadn't paid Geely a single cent. The female live streamer cried, saying, Wow, I borrowed 80,000 yuan from my mom and took out a loan of 130,000 yuan to buy a Jiyue 07. Then, at the company, I took 4 packs of napkins. Yesterday, they told us to leave, so I took 4 packs of napkins and 6 pairs of socks. That's all I took, 6 pairs of socks and 4 packs of napkins. After the company announced its bankruptcy, the employees began live streaming as they packed up their things. One live streamer told Chinese media that after the company declared dissolution, employees started taking items from the store as compensation. A live streamer from the Chengdu store said, "Today everyone came to the company to figure out how to get compensation. Everything was taken. Small gifts, air fresheners, even toilet paper. Many people took everything they could. Last night, the test drive car at our store was secretly driven away by someone who wasn't an employee." On December 12th, a video was posted online at the newly bankrupted Jiyue Auto 4S store, where lights were still on and cars were still inside. It didn't look like an abandoned store. The display boards were still up, with one advertising an event at the end of the year. The test drive cars, Jiyue 01s, were locked up, and one even had a flat tire. The video's poster explained that it felt like two sides were fighting. One is the investor, and the other is the creditor. Now they're worried that the creditors might secretly take the cars to sell, but no one dares to buy them now. The poster asked around, and no one from Jiyue Auto was seen at the store. Apparently, the night before, people had been moving items out, with some employees taking things freely. A netizen commented, "I'm a Jiyue employee. When I got the news, I drove the company's test drive car home. They still owe us wages with Social Security." On December 12th, multiple Chinese media outlets reported that Jiyue Auto had suddenly announced the dissolution of several departments. Many employees are worried their bosses might flee, so they surrounded US CEO Xia Yiping at the company's headquarters, demanding he pay overdue Social Security, health insurance, and housing fund contributions, along with December wages and severance pay. It was revealed that the company had not paid Social Security since November. Employees from multiple locations reported that the company had dissolved on the spot. One store showroom was empty, with only 5 employees left to pack up. On December 12th, reporters visited the Jiyue Auto Experience stores at Chengdu's Mixed C Mall and Yintai Mall, and found that both stores had already been closed. One sales employee from the Du store said, We received notice on the afternoon of December 11th that we didn't need to show up for work the next day, that wages wouldn't be paid, and now I'm looking for a new job. On the afternoon of December 11th, Jiyue CEO Shakeup held an internal meeting, admitting that the company was facing difficulties and needed immediate adjustments, but he did not specify the details. On the afternoon of December 12th, Shakeup held another meeting with employees, explaining the company's current issues with employee benefits. He admitted that the company's accounts had been frozen, but assured them that he wouldn't flee and was still actively seeking financing. Previously, on September 2nd, Jiyue Auto had denied rumors, stating that operations were normal. According to a report on Tencent Auto, all of Jiyue's stores have suspended operations. All vehicles are locked and test drives are unavailable. Sales employees are also leaving the company. Once a rising competitor to Tesla, Jiyue Auto now faces a life-or-death crisis. Reports indicate that the company's poor sales, ongoing losses, and lack of investment from shareholders led to this crisis. On the afternoon of December 10th, internal messages from Jiyue indicated that the company's investors would no longer provide funding, and the company would soon cease its vehicle manufacturing business. Currently, there are rumors of mass layoffs at Jiyue Auto, with the R&D department possibly being completely cut, and the after-sales department being reduced from over 300 employees to just 80. Many employees have reported that Jiyue has kept only a small number of staff to maintain operations. For the remaining employees, two solutions have been proposed. 1. Voluntary resignation, with the possibility of receiving compensation equivalent to N+1 by the end of February next year, though there's no guarantee because the company says it lacks funds. 2. Staying with the company, but from December onwards, wages will not be paid, and Social Security contributions will be suspended, meaning employees will have to self-finance their work. Some employees are highly dissatisfied with this rushed handling and have prepared to protect their rights. On the night of November 13th, blogger Jiyue posted a video on Xiaohongshu showing Jiyue employees negotiating for their rights. The post stated, "It's 12:50 a.m. at the Jiyue Rights Defense scene. The negotiations are still ongoing, and our employee representatives are working really hard, so we're here to support them. They're likely discussing the Social Security issues for December." Later, at 4:50 a.m., the blogger provided an update. Summary of the latest result. Social Security and Housing Fund for November have been paid, but no other concrete results yet. Negotiations will continue from December 13th to 17th. There's still hope, and public pressure is proving useful. Whether the negotiations can continue once the heat dies down is uncertain. If Social Security is resolved, it would be a huge breakthrough, and we'll have to wait for further updates on other issues. Jiyue suppliers are also suffering. A worker from a human resources service provider for Jiyue angrily said they owe us tens of millions, with the oldest debt dating back to April last year. According to ifnews.com, Jiyue owes money to over 50 suppliers, with the smallest amount being 46,000 yuan and the largest exceeding 100 million yuan. The total amount owed exceeds 300 million yuan, and insiders reveal that this is not the full extent. Jiyue's debt to Geely Group alone exceeds 1 billion yuan, with total supplier debts amounting to tens of billions. Consumers are also feeling the impact. A photo circulating online shows Jiyue's car connectivity services being suspended, with the internet company sending a payment notice, threatening to disconnect the service unless payment is made by the 20th. A netizen joked, "If they don't pay by the 20th, all Jiyue cars will be disconnected from the internet. Looks like these cars will turn into four-wheeled battery cars." Others added, "Now, cars with unlimited data have no access to other networks. Let's see if Jiyue can update the system before the disconnection, or else the entire car system will be useless." A professional in the industry advised car owners to sell their cars now while the value hasn't depreciated too quickly, and not to hold out hope for after-sale service. No one expected this automaker, which is backed by Baidu and Geely, to face such a sudden collapse. Official records show that in January 2021, Chinese search engine Baidu and Chinese auto manufacturer Geely jointly established Jiyue Auto, with Baidu holding a 55% stake and Geely 45%. The company announced plans to create car robots. In June 2022, Jiyue Auto unveiled its first concept car, the Robo 01. However, in August 2023, due to production qualification issues, Jiyue Auto was named to Jiyue, with Geely increasing its stake to 65% and Baidu holding a 35% stake through its Shanghai Mihan Automotive Company. According to insiders, Baidu and Geely no longer believe in Jiyue's future and stopped providing funding. Earlier this year, Jiyue secured a new round of 3 billion yuan financing with its investors, but Baidu suddenly pulled out, leaving Jiyue with no funds by the second half of the year. Insiders revealed that Baidu holds 80% of the voting rights in Jiyue, and Jiyue had repeatedly tried to contact Baidu for employee compensation issues, but Baidu executives refused to take calls. Jiyue Auto's first model, the Jiyue 01, was released in August last year and officially launched in October, followed by the release of the second model, the Jiyue 07, in September. However, the sales have been underwhelming. In the first 11 months of this year, Jiyue only managed to deliver around 14,000 vehicles, which translates to less than 1,300 units per month. The Jiyue 01, which launched in October 2023, initially faced poor sales. Within a month of its release, Jiyue slashed the price by 30,000 yuan, yet sales remained sluggish. The Jiyue 07, which launched in September this year, performed somewhat better, but even during the peak sales season, it only sold 1,936 units. There are also reports suggesting that a significant portion of the over 2,000 vehicles sold in recent months went through leasing channels, with few being sold directly to individual consumers. The automotive industry, especially electric vehicle manufacturing, is one that requires continuous investment. When capital markets begin to pull back, the collapse of a company can happen in an instant, and Jiyue is a prime example. China's electric vehicle market, often seen as the new frontier for Chinese automakers, continues to face intense competition. According to Markline's data, in 2023, China's new energy vehicle sales reached over 9 million units, with the top 5 brands, Li Auto, NIO, Leapmotor, Xpeng, and Hozon, accounting for over 1 million units, or 10.5% of the market share. Competition in the electric vehicle sector is becoming increasingly brutal. On November 25th, Li Bin, founder, chairman, and CEO of NIO, stated in an internal letter for the company's 10th anniversary that the qualification race in the smart industry has entered its most intense and brutal stage, with only a few outstanding companies surviving. Jiyue Auto, which was booming in 2018, saw a high point of 69,700 vehicles delivered in 2021, but has recently faced large-scale layoffs, pay cuts, and supplier payment issues. Like Jiyue, it's now on the brink of collapse. On December 6, 2024, Jiyue Auto announced that Zhang Yong had been dismissed as CEO, and that founder and chairman Fang Yunzhou would take over the role. Another EV company, iWays, based in Shanghai, was exposed last year for unpaid wages and other financial issues. The company's headquarters in Yangpu, Shanghai, even faced power cuts due to unpaid rent, utilities, and property fees, pushing the company to the edge of closure. In recent years, the new energy vehicle sector has become one of the key industries in China that the government has used to stimulate economic growth, alongside real estate. It has become a focal point of Chinese authorities' foreign trade strategy, alongside lithium batteries and solar panels. The rapid development of China's electric vehicle industry is evident. According to the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, China's new energy vehicle production reached 10 million units in 2023, marking a new stage of high-quality development. However, many industry observers question whether China's EV production capacity is already oversaturated, and whether it will face resistance from high tariffs in Europe and the US. Secretary-General of the China Passenger Car Association, Cui Dongshu, recently stated that China's market share in global EV sales reached 64% in 2023 and is expected to maintain the same share from January to April 2024, with a peak of 67% in April for Chinese new energy passenger cars. Business professor Xie from the University of South Carolina believes that China's EV industry is facing massive overcapacity, a situation of extreme excess. To address this, China is forced to use export dumping as a method to offload its excess production capacity, thereby exporting not just vehicles, but also its unemployment and other economic problems. The Chinese government, however, denies that there is any overcapacity issue. Davey Wang, economist from the US, who has long tracked the Chinese EV industry, states that according to international standards, an industry is considered to have excess capacity if its production capacity utilization rate falls below 80%. Currently, the capacity utilization rate in China's EV industry is between 60 and 70%, which is approaching the threshold for serious overcapacity. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics in China, in 2023, the overall capacity utilization rate for China's new energy vehicles ranged from 57% to 76%. Among the manufacturers, NIO and XPeng had capacity utilization rates below 50%, while only a few leading brands like BYD and Tesla had utilization rates exceeding 90%. While concerns about overcapacity grow, China's new energy vehicle exports have also led to trade disputes. The European Union imposed temporary anti-subsidy tariffs on Chinese-made EVs in late October, with the US imposing a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs even earlier, in late September. China's electric vehicle industry has not only triggered sanctions from Europe and the US due to its export-driven overcapacity, but it has also led to fierce domestic competition. The layout of the new energy vehicle sector is seen as a reflection of the entire industrial economy of China, infused with the characteristics of a planned economy. From the beginning, the development of China's EVs has been supported and promoted by government policies, including subsidies, industrial planning, and the dual credit system. Economist Davey Wong argues that the development of new energy vehicles is highly capital-intensive. Companies received government subsidies, allowing for large-scale development. However, in the future, some companies may not survive. Subsidies disappear and market conditions worsen, businesses will likely close down, leading to a survival of the fittest situation. The ultimate result will likely be mass shutdowns and unfinished projects, similar to the fate of shared bikes. This will have a negative impact on China's overall economy and employment. Reports from Chinese media indicate that companies like NIO, XPeng, and Xinte have resorted to outsourcing production to traditional car manufacturers. For instance, NIO outsources to JAC Motors, XPeng to Haima Automobile, and New Energy and Bogward to FAW, while Leap Motors have partnered with Changjiang Automobile. Independent commentator Du Zheng believes that while China's new energy vehicles are often hailed as new car-making forces, many lack the capability to manufacture cars. Instead, they simply brand and sell vehicles produced by state-owned enterprises. The entire sector is filled with speculative ventures, lacking long-term plans for real industrial development. As a result, the EV industry has become unstable, with growth driven by hype rather than solid foundations. Davey Wong further suggests that the Chinese government's push for electric vehicles goes beyond economic concerns. He said, electric vehicles serve as excellent tools for social surveillance and data collection, much like Huawei phones. They collect vast amounts of data, and the Chinese government has strategic considerations and intelligence needs. According to a 2018 report from the Chinese Communist Party's official newspaper Guangming Daily, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology had tasked the Beijing Institute of Technology with developing and operating a national EV monitoring platform. By July of that year, the platform had already collected real-time data on over 1 million new energy vehicles, including vehicle mileage, operation tracks, charging heat maps, and energy consumption of buses. The report claimed that this marked the beginning of big data for China's new energy vehicles, a move that has raised significant concerns within the international community.